All right, back with episode number 41 of the Wrestling Roundtable podcast. I'm Ryan Hall with Dominique LaRue, and I think I want to lead off with this. First of all, I think we're both doing better than Brock Lesnar is at this very moment because if you haven't seen what happened to that man when he came out to Monday night, when he came out to get in the main event pull apart on Monday Night Raw, you're missing some of the best meme work the internet wrestling community has ever put out.
Oh, this is definitely in the Hall of Fame of memes. And, you know, whenever you want to be a meme, you definitely don't want to be on the receiving end of the work of the internet when it comes to meme making because the, Brock Lesnar has came out and done this entrance, for 15 to 20 plus years now.
20 years, yeah.
And it was only a matter of time that Brock comes out in them cowboy boots and does that little kick he does when he powering up or whatever for the fireworks, and he did a full flip backwards on his neck, and the way Paul Heyman, he you can see it in his face, but he still kind of stayed within character.
Mhm.
And luckily, none of the guys up out that was out in the ring, none of the heels, they didn't necessarily see what happened either. But I mean, shout out to Brock for that dude could he does the funniest things, but like you have no choice but to laugh and laugh with him rather than at him, because obviously if laugh at him, he's gonna whoop your tail. But laughing with him, it was a genuine funny moment that made you think like, you know what, they ain't really heels to me now. Like I kind of want
Yeah.
them to win
Oh,
the Survivor Series now because just the fact of like Brock Lesnar is human. So
yeah, no, it was a human moment. And it kind of reminded me of a story that that I've heard Randy Orton tell about when they were in training. As he and Batista and John Cena. We're gonna get to John Cena here in a bit, but like they're all in training, and Brock's running the ropes, and Brock is a huge, freaky athlete, and like one of the rules when you hit the ropes is that you got to hook your arm over the top rope to keep from flipping over. And Brock did not do that. So he fell over the top rope, took out about 20 chairs in the front, like in the front of the ring, and got off, brushed himself off, and was like, huh, "I bet y'all want to see that again."
that is hilarious. That
I'll have to send that clip to you if I find it.
yeah.
Randy Orton tells it a lot better than I do, but that was one of the most surreal moments I've seen in wrestling in a long time.
I mean, Brock is inhuman. Like I know you've seen this clip. The clip when Jeff Hardy had hit him with a chair and he just like flew out of the ring on his feet.
Mhm.
And obviously he was selling it, but at the same time it was like, yeah, that chair shot was crazy. And just the surreal moments that Brock do in the ring and outside of the ring, and then just to see him like this man did a 5 star, excuse me, shooting star press on Kurt Angle and like broke his neck, and he's up and moving around and he's okay, and you would think he's a cyborg or whatever, but to see him do something like that and just tumble over or whatever,
And they still went home on that match. That
and they
was
still went home like nobody did nothing.
ow.
They didn't stop. They didn't, obviously if they would have giggled, they would have giggled or whatever, but it, I am so
Yeah,
glad Brock is in this program. That's all
I
I
am
gotta say.
too. I am too.
I'm so glad he's in this
I
program. So.
I am too. We're going to talk about Survivor Series here in a bit because as we're recording this, we're just a few days away from Survivor Series. Um, I'm also a few days away from the Iron Bowl. As if you're watching on YouTube, I'm sure you can see by the hoodie that I've got on right now, which side that I support. But I wanted to talk a little bit about
Wait,
what's going.
is the Iron Bowl Friday or Saturday?
No, it's Saturday.
Saturday. Okay. Well, we let's see, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 3 days.
Yeah,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4 days. 4 days. Um,
4 days.
the recording Thanksgiving is throwing off our recording today.
Right. Yeah, we normally record on Thursday night, but yeah, we're doing this on the night after Monday Night Raw.
So absolutely.
So the opinions and the takes are still a little bit hot from that.
It's fresh.
Yes, yes. Now, I know you've got a pretty hot take about what is going on with this last time is now John Cena Invitational Tournament. And I want to preface this by saying I'm one of the biggest Gunther fans, one of the biggest Walter fans out there. I have loved him since he was in NXT UK. Um, I just marked out like a crazy man when he started coming out to his old music. Um, Wish they'd start letting him use his real name for again, but that's an inter the intellectual property kind of situation here. But make it make sense, Dom. Why in the world would they have Gunther, who is a multiple time champion, IC champion, world champion? Why would they put him over Javon Evans when the whole point, not Javon Evans, um,
Really?
um, yeah, Carmelo Hayes. We were talking about Javon Evans earlier, but why in the world would they put him over Carmelo Hayes when Gunther just doesn't need it? He doesn't need it because if you've been following this podcast for a little bit, and I will eventually shut up and let you talk, but we've been following this podcast for a bit. You know how adamant I have been about whoever takes out John Cena for the last time, it needs to be somebody that is not a made man. And Gunther, damn it, is a made man.
Absolutely. Um, Now, granted, if you go back and listen to our previous episodes, before this tournament was even thought of or even spoken of, we said that it was either going to be Gunther or Obafemi that we wanted to see retired John Cena. And like my brother Ryan said, like we love Gunther. Like I started following Gunther after his match with Dragunov in the UK for the UK title,
Mhm.
and that was one of the best matches I've seen in my lifetime. Like
Some of the nastiest chops
nastiest chops. I'm talking about.
ever.
I thought they hated each other as much as they went at it. And I get why Gunther moved on, but what we've been preaching on this podcast, and I'm sure any other podcast you listen to, maybe they don't have the same outlook on us like us, or maybe they do in some sense. But John Cena has represented three words his whole entire career: hustle, loyalty, and respect. This whole tournament is about whoever win this tournament. They fought and clawed and did all they needed to get to that aspect of being in the ring with the goat and wrestling the goat. Now, kayfabing, you know, being in the ring with John Cena, you got an opportunity to beat John Cena and retire John Cena. Now, outside of kayfabe, we know that in the words of retirement, you get a rub. You basically you're guaranteed a win, and this win it 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 carries on with you. throughout your career. Like this is like a step of approval, or a flag that you can carry to use it how you see fit. But basically, in this magnitude of a title, it's like winning a world title. It's basically like
Mhm.
you retired the GOAT. Like you are the guy now. Like you're one of the faces that is pioneering us to, the atmosphere, the stratosphere, basically. Like we are planting this your face on stuff for in the future of like endorsements and all this other stuff. But we think you could be the next guy for our company. And we've been preaching on the show about this tournament, and this tournament is way bigger than a title. This tournament is way bigger than anything currently going on in WWE because, like, yes, we got the war games going on and this, that, and the third, and Cody's the champ, you see him Punk the champ, but like John Cena's carried WWE for 20 plus years. Like John Cena's name is up there in the Raptors with the Hulk Hogan's and the Rocks and the Stone Colds and Ric Flairs, and like to get a win of this magnitude, it changes your career. Like
Mhm.
this ain't Goldberg we're talking about. Going to beat Goldberg, but we knew that. We knew he was going to just mollywop Goldberg. I mean, Goldberg is pretty much far beyond his prime. So, but with John, I mean, John is pulling out all the stops. Like he's bringing out moves he's never done. He's pulling out moves from all his old opponents. Like John can still go. Like he might not can go like
Yeah,
he thinks he can go, but he's still in the aspect of a mid card wrestler.
absolutely.
And like I don't understand, and I get it. The Miz is back in there, and like everybody in that tournament besides Melo, and unfortunately Penta had went out with injury, and I hate it. We sent him well wishes and hope for a speedy recovery. But like Solo has somewhat of a history, John, but not in the aspect of the realm of a Miz or Sheamus, or with Sheamus is hurt too. We send our wishes to him,
Yeah,
but this tournament means so much to like wrestling fans like you and I that like grew up with the aura of a let's see, like a I ain't gonna say that. I was gonna say like old yellow, like taking them out to the pasture and
yeah.
everything. But basically, this magnitude of a retirement because like it's like a John Elway type. Going out winning the Super Bowl and riding off in the sunset. Like John, after this match, John is leaving. He's not wrestling anymore, but he wants to leave WWE in a way that he built it up. So, what better way to do that than to pass the torch to another young talent and bring him up to the levels of a Gunther or the Miz or whoever else? I just it my mind was blown. My heat was nuclear as how much I was peed off that
I know you were blowing up my phone.
like I was like, what is they doing? Like I cannot believe like, and I know we said this months ago, but it just don't hit anymore. Like because of this tournament, like they doing interviews with John, and he's talking about his years of wrestling and like that moment when he went in that ring, a very young John in his 20s, with the blonde hair and the armband, the wristbands with the short, the little I call them kuchkas, but the short shorts, and like another goat in the ring, Kurt Angle. He was like, "What makes you think you can be in the ring with a great like me?" And he was like, "Ruthless aggression," and that kicked off his career. That kicked off his career, and obviously, with the twists and turns, he had to change his whole stick, as they may. But at the same time, like people still remember John from being that John in the ring with Kurt Angle because like you first of all being a new guy, you don't get that opportunity. And then when you do get that opportunity, to not only get the opportunity, but to stay on the same level as a Kurt Angle, because Kurt Angle is known to blow up talent. Like, and blowing up is meaning to gas talent to the point where they can't even keep going. Like they're physically, you can see it in their face. They're sweating and they're gasping for air, and like they're tired. But
Yep.
John held his own, so that put a lot of eyes on John. Like the Undertaker shook his hand after the match. Like that was real because they was impressed. Vince McMahon was impressed. So
Hmm.
like I don't, I just don't get it. I
I
just don't.
don't. Yeah, yeah. I don't understand it either because, like I said, I have been railing against this. I have been screaming about this, metaphorically screaming about this ever since, honestly, ever since the heel turn back in the spring
Mhm.
of what are we going to do with this final opponent? What makes sense? And, so many guys, so many retirement matches at this level end up being a made guy retiring a made guy. You know, prime example, Shawn Michaels taking out Ric Flair. The infamous "I love you, I'm sorry," uh, Sweet Tim music.
Mhm.
Um, but I feel like that was a different story because that was kind of that was a storyline kind of thing. It wasn't, but like
Or Undertaker retiring Shawn Michaels.
exactly, exactly. You've got so many, like most of the guy, like the youngest guys in this war games match that we're going to talk about here in the men's war game match, most of those guys are 40 plus. Braun Breaker's 28 and Logan Paul's 30, and he isn't even full time.
Not at all. But I mean, respecting him, he can move faster and better than some of the talent that's currently in there and at his age. But it's like, where is the respect in the business? Like, where is that old school, like, general passing of the torch? Just like, I don't know, just because, like you said, most of the retirement matches, the matches we saw, it was storyline oriented. Like
Mhm.
one of the greatest retirement matches of all time, besides Ric Flair's I love you, I'm sorry, is Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, because it was
Yes.
streak versus career. And is if anybody, which I'm sure mostly wrestling fans that listen to our pod knows, at that time Undertaker's streak was the most prestigious thing there is. Like I said about this tournament, it was pretty much on the same level as the tournament, just a longer stretch of history with the streak. And then obviously Shawn Michaels' career, we don't want Shawn Michaels to retire, but obviously we knew he was getting to that point where he couldn't go no more. His back, his knees, like he wasn't doing the high octane moves that he used to do. But he still would put it on the line for our entertainment, obviously. And that was one of the greatest matches of all time because of the fact that the story had us invested in it. But now with this tournament, the only story is like who's gonna retire Johnson. And in this day and age, like as far as a retirement match, it it has to make sense. Like, are we going to have Baron Corbin retire Kurt Angle all over again? And that, oh, I don't even want to sink my teeth into that one. But the fact of we can't even get John Cena to retire Kurt Angle. That would have made sense. We couldn't even get I don't know, Kevin Owens or somebody other than Baron
Right.
Corbin at the time. Like, why is not even to give any more energy to that? But
Don't, yeah, don't,
just
just avoid the rabbit hole, Don.
yeah, because I was getting there. I was about to go in.
Yeah, no, 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 you were warming up. You were warming
Yeah,
up.
I was warming up. But to come back to the tournament, this is a perfect opportunity. And I said this to you before. Like all the people in the IWC that keeps talking about, oh, Triple H don't bring up, you know, talent. He don't, not to bring up the race thing, but he don't do anything to the young black talent. The Montez Fords, the Kofi's, the this, that, and the third. Taking Kofi belt in 3 seconds. This, then, whatever, whatever. You could have killed that narrative. You could have squashed that narrative about that. You could have squashed the narrative about John Cena being the ultimate um what is it?
Politician,
Hmm, What is it?
politician, you say?
No, no, no. The ultimate
Ba- barrier,
yes, yes. Like, why not give it to a guy, a young talent? It could have been any young talent. I at this point, and I hate to hurt your ears with this. It could have been Logan Paul. All I care, but that's a young talent. That's a guy that's coming up in the ranks. That's a guy that at the end of the day, whether you like him or not, you got to give him respect for the stuff he do in the ring, and he does do what he's told, and also pay his respect to the business because he's a fan. Now, at the end of the day, he was a fan before he started becoming a YouTuber. And then when he became a YouTuber, he's still a fan or whatever, and he wanted to get into the business, and he did, and he's doing a great job.
yeah,
So here you go, Logan. We're giving you your props.
right.
But
Don't get
at the end
used
of the
to
day,
it.
yeah, don't get used to it. But at the end of the day, this tournament meant so much in my eyes to younger talent versus the already made talent.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I know I kind of had a Freudian slip on it earlier, but Javon Evans was a great example of this because Javon Evans, I feel like his time is in the future. He's still super young, but I feel like his time is in the future. He's still, you know, 4 or 5 years away from like that IC title kind of, you know, IC title, US title kind of stature. But you could have done so much to be able to push him forward into, into the next stratosphere. Now, don't get me wrong. Gunther made that man look like a million bucks in that match, which is one of the reasons why I love the guy so much. But I say again, Gunther doesn't need it, but but I'm sure it's going to be him,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
it bugs me to no end.
he makes it- it's such a two two-headed sword. Like, as much as I gripe about Gunther winning, it just shows how amazing of a talent that Gunther is. Like, whoever he's in the ring
No
with, he
doubt.
makes them so much better. Like, he takes the strengths that you have and incorporate it with what he does, and he makes you look way more efficient than you would with anybody else. And that just works with a type of wrestler that he is, because it's like, Javon Evans is a high flyer, and Carmelo is a high flyer, and like we said before, you put two big powerhouses together, necessarily it don't mesh well, but that's the beauty of Gunther, because it's like one of the top five matches he had in my eyes, a 5-star match, was that triple threat match for the IC title with Sheamus and Drew. That was an absolute banker,
Totally.
and all three of them were powerhouses.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, like as much as I hate it, I gotta respect it, and I get it. But God, do I hate it? I just hate it so much. I because this guy was the first pick of SmackDown, just what 2, 3 years ago, and you do nothing with him, like nothing. But I mean, and then he doing the whole, and that's what really made me think like, okay, they might do something with him because he does the whole 6-7 crap with the little kids, and like, I mean, I don't understand it. My daughter loves it. Kids love it. I guess it's the whole new. I think I saw Instagram. Basically, it's this generation's. You know what we used to do back in high school with DX with the
Right.
shake. It's
Right. The
basically
crotch chop. Yeah.
yeah, that's the crotch shot. That's what they do.
Uh,
It's very entertaining. It's very irritating, but it is what it is. It's a
oh, I was gonna say it's damn sure not entertaining.
oh no, no.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's. I feel like we could talk for the entire show about this, but I do know that we've got a decent sized PLE coming up here in a few days. And before we get into the specifics of this, I posed a question to you in our pre-show meeting, and I wanted to pose this on the podcast.
Okay.
Do you feel in any kind of way that War Games has played out? And hear me out on this. War Games has always, I loved War Games back in the WCW Georgia Championship Wrestling days. Um, it's always been one of my favorite stipulation matches. Violent, but psychological, you know? But there have always been like storylines that get blown off in a War Games match. The Horsemen against Destiny, Nikita, Sting, and Lex Luger is a great example of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not feeling that with this match. I'm not feeling that with either one of these matches. I'm almost feeling like the War Games is starting, has the potential to start more stuff than end anything. And do I want to go back to the whole red t-shirt versus blue t-shirt brand supremacy thing? No, that was played out long ago.
Yeah, you can do that on a random episode of Raw or SmackDown.
Right.
I mean, don't necessarily have to be a P. And like Survivor Series PLE, nah, nah. Especially with War Games, no.
Yeah.
Um, I feel yes and no. I totally agree with you on War Games. Like it since they introduced it to Survivor Series, it has been a solid staple to Survivor Series.
Totally.
I can't even imagine Survivor Series now being anything other than with War Games. And like like we talked about in pre-production, the past 2 3 years has been bloodline oriented and rightfully so because it was like basically not necessarily brand supremacy but supremacy of WWE as far as the bloodline taking over WWE and the talent that were going against the bloodline to fight back basically. And I mean also War Games is a staple with the Rhodes family. Like Dusty Rhodes is the what's pioneer of War Games. Like he's
He created it. Yeah,
he
he
created it.
created it. When you created it when he was with the Booker.
yeah. So with this being said, like thank God that Cody is now involved in this because it didn't hit well with me the fact that Cody came back and they had war games and he's not in it. But now it just takes time because they had everything going on with him himself and all this other stuff, so they had to work their way around to getting to this point. And now that we're in this point, it's great that he's involved in it. But like you were just talking about, war games is more of a blow off than a startup. But now we're kind of in that startup realm because of the horrible timing of Seth Rollins' injury, and
Hmm.
then it's like not to poo poo on them, but the Vision is not a very imposing or scary faction. Like it's nowhere near what Bloodline was. It's nowhere near what the Authority was. It's nowhere near what Evolution was. It's nowhere near what NWO or what was the corporation? Yeah, corporation
Yeah.
or anything. It's just you know some two guys with Paul Heyman and they call themselves a faction, and you know saying that they're the future of WWE, and I get it. Bronson Reed got his one up on Roman, but y'all are tied now. So, and then Braun Breaker, ever since he's been involved with Seth Rollins, he's hadn't gone anywhere. Like he hasn't been in a world title match. He hasn't been anything relevant to a solo, like a big solo upbringing, world title,
Yeah.
or he was an IC champion, but now like undisputed title. Like Cody needs some competitors, and yet there's no competition other than Drew, and it's getting really like irritating to see them go back and forth over and over. And hopefully this Saturday we have a blow off of something, but then a nice startup to something better. Like someone might turn heel. Someone might
Yeah.
get the pin on somebody and potentially be in the running for a title match. But this War Games, to say that I'm excited for it, yes, as far as star power wise, but like as far as like the story dilemma of it all, no, I'm not. Not compared to the last 2 years, no.
And not like you've got Royal Rumble coming up in a matter of weeks after this. You've got WrestleMania. The road
And,
goes on forever.
and Elimination Chamber.
And Elimination Chamber. Let's not forget that.
So
Well, you've got four matches announced for the show. Now, granted, two of them are the War Games matches, and those are probably going to go, 45, 50 minutes a pop. Um, so I'm going to get the one out of the way that I know pisses you off. Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella for the women's championship.
I
Who are
hope
we
they
thinking? Who are we thinking, and why does Vaquer kill her?
I hope they kick off the PLE with their match. Go and get it out of the way. And obviously, I'm picking our girl Stephanie to win. Um, Now, granted, no disrespect to Nikki, she is a Hall of Famer. I give her that. We are just so far beyond her as like her being involved in anything important as far as women title wise. If her sister came back and they went for the women's tag team titles, I wouldn't be mad about that. That's fine.
No, I wouldn't either.
But why are we sticking Nikki in a potential main event type caliber match with Stephanie? And I get it. Stephanie is a competitor of that type of magnitude, but like somebody please tell me when Liv is coming back because this is Nikki always does this. She came back to fight Ronda.
Liv, Bianca, yeah, just somebody other than Nikki freaking Bella.
Someone other, please. Like, you don't want a guaranteed win. I want a match that's going to push Stephanie to the limit. I don't want. That's just like with Tiff. Like, don't get me wrong. I didn't think Trish had a chance to win that, but she shocked me. I was like, oh, well, Trish still got it. Like, oh my gosh,
Hey,
she might beat Tiffany. I don't see Nikki coming close to beat Stephanie. Like, if she cheats,
yeah,
then that's the only chance. But other than that, no. And she can't even pull off a convincing heel anymore.
yeah, yeah. That's yeah. Like this whole thing doesn't make a lick of sense to me.
It
It
don't.
just doesn't make it like it just doesn't make a lick of sense to me. To your point about Trish Stratus, even in her prime, Trish was good, and she got so much better as she got more experience.
Yes. Yes.
But she was never a ring general. Let's be
No.
real here. She was never a ring general, but she knew how to work. She knew how to put on a show. To me, like Nikki, like the Bella Twins never did anything for me. I mean, if you want to, because I always associate it with the whole Divas era when when the wrestlers were chosen more for their looks than actually being able to work a match.
Yeah, when it was considered more valet than anything else.
Yeah, valet model.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that was the whole purpose of like shout out to Stephanie McMahon and AJ Lee for their podcast. Um, that was the whole aspect of like, should women get more respect in the ring as their male counterparts when they're sitting here, And granted, it's not the women's fault. Obviously, it was the big dog that was sitting in the chair at the time, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. But like, it was only a small handful of women that had actual talent in the ring. Others were just used to be sexualized, and like 19-year-old me, 15 to 19-year-old me, yeah. But 39-year-old me, I'm more of loving the women now that are in the ring doing what they're doing physically, and like, sometimes like watching main events of women wrestling, it don't even dawn on me like, oh man, they're main event Raw and stuff like now it's more apparent now. It's more granted because they're putting on better shows than the men.
right.
So like when you put a match together with Nikki and Stephanie, it pisses me off because it's like, no offense to Nikki, but it's just like, look at what Stephanie's been doing this past couple of months. When she's first gotten into the main roster, why is she not being put against talent of her magnitude? Like, why are we not having iron versus iron? Iron sharpens iron. Iron don't sharpen with aluminum foil. Like Nikki is, I don't know her age, but Nikki's at the age now where she was retired. People, like, she was
Yeah.
out of the ring for a while. So why are we still going down that route with her when you got so much more talent in the back? You could put her with a Raquel. You can put her with hell. You can put her with Tiffany again. I don't care. It don't
Yeah.
matter. Like, just give her a solid. It's like a fill-in match. Hey, we ain't got nothing else. We ain't got nothing else for the first match of the night. Let's just put her with Nikki Bella, so people can just sit there and tune in, and like the ones that actually buy the Nikki Bella merchandise can see her wrestle again. And I get it. She's back for a final run, and I get that. But
Right.
it just doesn't hit the same for you, Nikki, like it does anybody else. Like Paige comes back. Oh, I'm all for it. I mean, like she was one of
Jump on it.
the frontiers, the front runners for the whole women's evolution because her and AJ Lee was like they are beautiful women, but they can go in the ring, and that is what shifted the whole narrative of women wrestling. Like it ain't just something that to put on while people can go get a beer or something and then come back or go use the bathroom or something. Like, no, you need to pay attention. Like this is really good.
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. What do you think goes down between this John Cena and Dom Mysterio match?
Quite
I'm
frankly,
with you. First of all, I'm with you. I don't think you can have the IC title involved in John Cena's final match because it's pointless.
yeah,
But at the same time, if they're going the route that I want them to go, starting setting up a program with Dom and Ray for a retirement match at WrestleMania, it, how do you do that? How do you how do you make that happen?
that's a that's a good question. Now, you know, I feel like it's more important if you have the triple A title involved between them two. But I guess
Facts.
to
Yeah.
put some gas on that fire, you have Dom win that title back. He walking around two title Dom, blah 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 blah, and then you have a program with Dom. Maybe I don't know, probably it could be some. At this point, it could be some random Raw, or it could be at Royal Rumble, or whatever. But have him defend that title against somebody in Raw, and Ray causes him to lose that title, and then that sparks their rivalry again to the point where you know Dom brings up the AAA title, like I won the title you never won, like I'm the greatest Mysterio of all time, not you, and this title proves it. You can do what I did, and then that starts the whole bickering of what? Well, how about this? Since you want to call yourself the greatest Mysterio of all time, you can't call yourself the greatest Mysterio of all time when there's two Mysterios still present. So I put my career on the line if you put that title on the line. And then that's how you have the retirement match. But John don't need that IC title. Obviously, John don't need that IC title. But
Right.
if you win that title off of John, then it adds cherry to the cake as far as beating John. Now, if it's Gunther, they don't need the IC title. We're not going backwards with Gunther. Like I refuse to sit here and be okay with that because Gunther's already went up and up and up to the point where he can't go back. I don't like the fact that he resorts back to that because you're already in the heavyweight, not even the heavyweight. You're in the undisputed title picture at this point. And while we on it, as far as the undisputed title picture, why not have a draft? Why can't we just get the draft? And this is the perfect month to do it. December. We have an annual draft every December or every other, you know, 2 to 3 years. We have a draft in December, so you can shake up the because we got so much talent to the point where you got to have a draft. Like it don't make any sense to sit here and constantly have two different brands, but you can hop back and forth between brands. Then sometimes you'll bring up, oh, he's not even involved he shouldn't even be on SmackDown. But what why is this that even matter? Y'all don't even play towards the rules of different brands. So why is it that Y'all are sitting there acting like both talents can't jump back and forth between Raw and SmackDown. If y'all don't even incorporate any rules, y'all are starting at like AEW at this point.
Well, let's not have any broken glass in the War Games matches.
Let's not have somebody just uh, staple their tongue or, you know, put thumbtacks and then just roll around and then dive off the top rope into a coffin.
If that entertains you, knock yourself out.
Remember when a coffin match was actually just a payoff, like a blow off to the end of a storyline rather than just doing it just because?
Just a random night, just a random Wednesday in November.
Or thumbtacks, you used to use thumbtacks in a hardcore match for a blow off. You know, like, hey, I'm really sick and tired of you. I want to shove your face down a barbed wire bat. You know, oh my God, they hate each other. They really want to kill each other. Let's do it at a predominant like Royal Rumble or WrestleMania or something. Not just
Yeah,
some random Wednesday night at mom and pop's shop or something. Like what?
right.
Like just to get the ratings up, let's just do a Inferno match. Inferno match. There's kids that actually stay up to 9 o'clock to watch wrestling on a school night. Like what are we doing? It, yeah, that's another.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
hopefully
yeah.
we'll
Don't
get our AEW.
just step away from the rabbit hole, Tom.
Yeah,
Just step away from the rabbit hole.
we'll get our AEW correspondent to get on here and talk about that. The one that watches more AEW than both of us combined. So,
Right, which is, for me, it's barely none. But yeah,
or highlights on Instagram.
or highlights on the Instagram, or like some random match that I'll text the group chat and be like, "I hate you, Tony." All right, all right. Women's War Game match. We finally got this set. Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte Flair. So they are going, and AJ Lee now
Hmm.
against Nia Jax, Slash Legend, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Becky Lynch. What are we thinking here? Because I feel like Charlotte can't be trusted. I feel like I feel like Rhea Ripley. I'd love to see her turn heel again, but it doesn't make sense to go, to be teaming with Nia and all the heels. Definitely not Becky Lynch. I mean, what are we thinking here? I think the match is going to be incredible, but storyline wise, how do you book this?
So you hit the nail on the coffin right there. The biggest question mark in this whole entire match is Rhea Ripley because she has absolutely no beef with anybody in that ring. As
Yeah,
far as the heel wise, Becky has beef with AJ Lee. Lash Legend and Nia has beef with Charlotte and Asuka. I mean, excuse me, Charlotte and Alexa. The Habuki Warriors have beef with Asuka and Alexa. Obviously, Asuka and I mean not Asuka, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Yes, they have beef with you know Io Sky and Rhea, but Rhea just happened to be associated with Io Sky to be brought into that beef between those three, like a love triangle between Io Sky and the Kabuki Warriors. But Rhea really doesn't have anything going far as story wise for because like yeah, I mean she has beef with Io Sky. I mean not Io Sky, but her Habuki Warriors. But do she really? Outside of getting spit in the face with
I
you
don't.
know,
Yeah, I don't see it. Yeah,
and it's just like part of me feels like and I hope this is for all the matches, really, to be honest. But surprise return or surprise introduction of someone. Now, granted, now when I say surprise, that's why I said I hope Liv comes back, or maybe Paige. Maybe Paige finally makes a return.
Bianca.
Or maybe Bianca. Yes. So, like, I just need something to draw me to that match with Nikki and Stephanie. But with the women's, I'm excited because AJ Lee. Um, a lot of things have happened in WWE when AJ Lee had left. So she's basically doing her retirement run, not necessarily saying she's on a retirement run, just basically she came back to fulfill a lot of things off her checklist. You know, one is going to be the um Survivor Series War Games match. She's never attended. Obviously, it's
Right.
fairly new, but she's never been in a match like that. Hell, excuse my French, but to be honest, she's never been in a match of this magnitude. As far as like the women could possibly be the main event. Most times she's wrestling like first or mid, never main. So like
Right.
now, how things are flipped around. Eventually, AJ Lee might wrestle in the main event. So she's never been in a War Games match. We got Royal Rumble coming up in 2 months, so she's definitely gonna be in the Royal Rumble. She's
No
definitely gonna
such thing as no such thing as the women's Royal Rumble when she left.
no such thing. Not even a breath of or spoken. That was like a forbidden word at that point. So
Mhm.
she got that, and then turn around and you got Elimination Chamber, which is going to be in Chicago. So she got to be there.
No doubt.
And then on top of that, a 2 night WrestleMania. She's definitely got to be involved in WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
So she's just knocking off some stuff on her checklist, and I'm excited for it. I'm happy
I'm
for
down
her.
for it. Yeah.
Excited for her. I want. Hell, you could have this rivalry between her and Becky go the entire year next year. All I care.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Wouldn't break my heart. Would not break my heart at all. Um, and also just knowing, just on a personal note, just knowing that she's in a good place in her head right now, also really,
Oh
also
yeah,
really feels good. Yeah.
kudos to her. I love it. I love the fact that she's using the platform that she has to promote, mental health and therapy, and it it's just it's lovely. It's lovely to see. Like compared to
Absolutely.
20 plus years ago, you would have said something like that, people would be scoffing you about it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Therapy. Come on, drink a shot with me. I mean, you don't do that. Yeah.
yes, you do. Take the shot. There you go.
Yeah. Take the shot or go do something else in the locker room if you know what I mean.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, if you've ever seen an Ultimate Warrior promo, that's probably what I'm talking about here.
Or hit something like RVD and Matt Riddle likes to do.
Oh, facts. Yeah, facts.
So
All right. Last but not least, the men's war game match. Now we've been kind of dancing around this a little bit, but I feel like the men's war game match is almost more setting up future storylines instead of blowing anything off. Because that one's set. You've got CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, the Usos, and Roman Reigns against the Vision, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, our dear friend, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. What do you think goes down in that match? Um, do
and
you do you think? Sorry to cut you off there, but do you think this could be a way to really put the rocket fuel with Braun Breaker, have him in Cody or even Roman for that matter?
I I would rather Braun pin Cody or CM Punk because you know, like I know, it really depends on who pins what in a particular match like this. Because once you pin that person, the following week you can talk about, my team won, but I pinned, Cody Rhodes for the win. So I think I should that shoots me up to where I can fight for the title. You can run that angle. Same thing with Russ Reed. Same thing with Logan. Obviously, if they do Drew, we got to go through that whole rodeo of that again, which I'm sick of. Um, I think Brock and Roman are just like, the big time faces to put in that match to get people hyped, to get people to buy tickets. You know, just the advertisement aspect of it all. Not really necessarily a story, but could it not be a story? Because it's gonna be a heel turn, I believe. I believe it's gonna be a heel turn. Now, who that I can't answer. But if you're asking for my theory on it, I have two particular people in mind that I feel makes the best decision on where we could go with this. Obviously, we said this person already. Actually, we said both of these people numerous times in recent weeks. One is our dear friend, guy we love so much, Jay Uso. You don't have Jay get on social media and say y'all won F you, basically. And that shot was directed towards the fans. That was the most ultimate heel thing I have seen, probably since the Elm.
Hmm.
But to you to say that to the fans, the people that yeet everywhere you go, and basically are basically shooting the middle finger to the people, as far as like not saying us, but just podcasters that are saying, Jay needs to turn heel. Um, he's gassed in the ring. He needs to change up his whole blah 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 blah. What better way to flip everybody on their heads and pull out the heel card than at Survivor Series? The amount of the amount of jaws that drop from that will be amazing. It probably on the same aspect as when Undertaker lost his streak. You remember that black guy with the glasses? He was just like mouth just dropped, like,
Hmm.
yeah. Or if not Jay, then definitely Cody. I mean, for the love of God, you do not have this man dressing up like $1 billion, shaking hands, kissing babies, doing the whole spit of, I'm the quarterback one, blah, 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 and then just to get poo pooed on by Roman Reigns. This man doesn't have a title. He hasn't been in a title match in months. He hasn't been on even on the show in months. But when this man comes to a show, oh brother, you can take that quarterback one and shove it. I mean, you're definitely not quarterback one. The man wears a shirt that says TC1 every time he comes out. And yes, it's tribal chief, but he's really saying, I'm the QB one. Hell, I'm the GM one. Like, come on, bro. Like, Cody, you move the needle a little bit, but Roman moves that needle way off that meter. He breaks the needle off that meter. It's just whenever he's on the show is 10 times better. It goes from the our atmosphere to the stratosphere. It goes to the multiverses of spirits, because like he got the juice. I mean, Roman got the
Always
juice.
had. Yeah.
So in order for Cody to even get to that atmosphere, uh, Roman has to be like, I'm done. I'm retired. I mean, like I eloquently put it before we got on the show. Roman Reigns is our Stone Cold Steve Austin
Yep.
because whenever Stone Cold was off the show, we had to find that next guy that takes the the um the bull by his horns and run with it. And Cody does it in a sense. I mean, CM Punk does it too. I mean, the crowd loves CM Punk. At the end of the day, crowd loves CM Punk. He can't do no wrong. At first, I said that we talked about this. We both agreed that CM Punk was like Stone Cold Steve Austin. But just sitting back and watching old episodes this previous month, whenever Roman's not on the show's okay. But whenever that hit, oh man, you can feel the you can feel the aura through the TV. You can feel the crowd emotions and energy when that music hits and they just hyped. And the way this dude he comes out and you would think he's the Undertaker as long as he takes his time to get to that ring.
Oh God.
He's like the slow Jeff Hardy walk. Like, Jeff Hardy comes out, he got to do the dance every time somebody getting beat up, right? Roman just come in, he's walking, right? Like, dang, man, I'm getting my face kicked in, and you're walking one step at a time. Hurry up with that chair, bro. I'm getting my face kicked in right now.
Yep. I mean, it's
So,
not quite to the Jeff Hardy level, but yeah, no, that was yeah, that bothered me. That that definitely bothered me because he's like he comes out to take care of the baby faces last night at the whole beatdown, and he's just practically crawling out to the ring.
I mean, he's walking, he's looking down, he's looking up. He got to do the whole spit, and then he's doing his wrist like that, or it's like the Rock coming out doing the whole hit his
Yeah,
arm and
what
getting
what
chills or whatever.
tap it?
Ain't even doing
Yeah,
this much, but it takes Brian Breaker to run after him to be like, oh, okay, I gotta get locked in now.
yeah. I gotta actually act like I'm fighting now.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, well, it's gonna be a fun weekend, my friend.
I cannot wait, my brother.
Hey, it's going to be a fun weekend. Saturday night's going to be an intense night for me. um,
Oh man, yeah, you gonna have both screens going, and you're gonna be looking at wrestling, and then turn it over there, and God
yeah,
forbid that Alabama does anything other than what they're supposed to in that
yeah.
stadium.
Well, considering that stadium is haunted, that scares the hell out of me. That scares the hell out of me.
But see, we
And
don't.
also considering that one win gets you into the SEC championship game and probably gets you into the college football playoff. So
Oh yeah, but if we don't look at it as the stadium's cursed, then it don't have any effect on us.
which is what the coaches have been trying to play up in practice this week. I mean, I know Nick Saban was joking about it on College Game Day because few people know about how goofy that place is and Nick Saban, but
Oh,
um, yeah,
or Alabama fans in general. I mean, it's just.
yeah,
I mean, but
yeah.
that's the beauty of the Iron Bowl. Like both teams could be dog crap the entire season, or Alabama could be what they are this year, and Auburn could be terrible, which they have been this year. But whenever it comes to that Crimson Tide, Auburn plays like the best team in the conference. I mean, not necessarily the conference, just in general, college football. It's like a whole different team when they play Alabama.
They're going to throw the kitchen sink at Alabama. They're going to throw out every trick play. They're just going to throw the kitchen sink at us.
At one point, they're gonna have the water boy out there going for a play. As much
Would
as
not doubt it. Would not doubt it. Would not doubt it. And there's also a slightly large wrestling show on Saturday night too.
Yeah, just slightly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A little bit. Yeah.
One of the pillars of WWE, but
And we will be talking about that next week.
which is wild to even sit here and think. When is the last time that we've had a PLE and the Iron Bowl go neck and neck with each other?
Iron Bowl is usually a 2:30 Central Time kickoff,
Yeah.
and it's at night this year. It's a 7:30 Eastern Time kickoff, which didn't break my heart because I can actually watch it because I haven't been able to watch it for the past few years.
TKO got some whole big cojones trying to go against the Iron Bowl.
Damn right they do.
Non Alabama and Auburn fans still watch the Iron Bowl because it's the only college football game on that day, and it's the freaking Iron Bowl.
I mean, you're already gonna have Michigan and Ohio State starting at noon.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it's gonna be Saturday's gonna be a fun day,
you
and
might well call it the Super Bowl because that's how many people watch the Iron Bowl.
absolutely, absolutely. We're going to talk a little about Survivor Series next week and what happened, what went down, and I can't wait for y'all to join us. It's been another fun episode, my friend. You ready to do it again?
Always, always, my man, and all to all my Stranger Things fans, we are less than 24 hours away from 4 episodes that drop tomorrow on Netflix. I cannot wait.
Well, wonder what you're going to be doing tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I'm so ready.
Yeah, I bet you are. I bet you are. Yeah, I know you've been talking about that for a minute.
I have.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
posting on Facebook and Instagram, and I got my Stranger Things shirt. I'm probably gonna wear my Hellfire Club shirt tomorrow, though.
All right. Well, we got a great PLE coming up this weekend. We're going to be back next week talking about that. Don't forget, we remind you every week, but we're still got that Mick Foley t-shirt giveaway that's open right now. Just go to our Facebook page, drop a like and a follow, like, comment, subscribe to our videos, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and come hang out with us next week.
Absolutely, please, please do. Tell a
Yeah,
friend to tell a friend to tell a cousin of a friend. Just even if you don't listen to us, just follow us. But
there you
eventually,
go.
you're going to want to listen to us. You're going to want to
Perfect.
follow and stay tuned because we got so much more to come in the pipeline. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're getting rather prophetic with our takes about this.
oh yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I'm not just saying I've been calling myself Ryan Damas for the past 2 weeks about after Dom won the title. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Until we eat again, for Dom, I'm Ryan. You've been listening to the Wrestling Roundtable podcast, and we'll talk to you later. And happy Thanksgiving.
everything is.
All right.